In this presentation, we are going to talk about another barrier to learning many students experience that can also be addressed by differentiated instruction. We'll be discussing more tools and technologies to help us in our efforts to reduce barriers. The focus for this lecture is on speech recognition software or speech-to-text software. The software recognizes what is being spoken and converts it to text. The tool can support students who struggle to get thoughts through their fingertips onto the keyboard and into the computer. It can support students who don't have the hand-eye coordination for keyboarding. There may be other reasons students can't physically type. And as discussed before, word processing does require keyboarding skills, at least to some extent, until speech recognition software was developed. Speech recognition transfers spoken words into digitized text. That's its main function. Through training and ongoing use, speech-to-text software can learn to recognize the user's voice. The software learns the user's tendencies in word choices and other speaking habits. This enables it to improve its prediction algorithms. As a result, it becomes more accurate the more it gets used. Speech recognition software shifts the student's focus away from the physical act of writing, away from the form of writing, allowing the student to focus on the function of writing. They can freely express their thoughts and knowledge without being concerned with keyboarding. It allows them to concentrate on expressing what they've learned. Remember, these technologies are not meant to replace writing instruction. We still need to teach students how to physically write. But these technologies can support students' writing composition skills, supports the creation of writing products. Speech recognition can increase written output and legibility. Because the software captures their speech, we can learn a lot about their oral language skills. Through their writing, we can identify possible issues with their oral language, which we can address as needed. The software allows the user the option to toggle between typing for themselves and speaking. It reduces form-related writing fatigue and anxiety. It increases student independence and engagement with grade level expectations, as well as from the student's own baseline. On the slide, you see the writing output of a student using paper and pencil compared to speech recognition. The speech-to-text product is far more elaborate. This gives a truer picture of the grade level of their writing skills. Here's another example comparing their handwritten product with one created through voice recognition software. The latter is more complex, organized, and legible. This product is grade 5 work and matches the work of the student's peers. The handwritten product does not indicate grade 5 work. Who benefits from speech recognition technology? It is an excellent tool for students who struggle with spelling. It helps students who only use words they know how to spell. Speech recognition software allows them the freedom to use other words and expand their vocabulary. Obviously, this technology can support students with fine motor challenges, or even those of us who are hunt and peck typists. Speech recognition software can be trained to recognize the speech of students with motor speech challenges, allowing them to express themselves more freely. It may be a helpful tool for students with difficulty translating thoughts onto paper or screen, even when they have the help of word prediction. Clearly, it's an option for students with illegible or disorganized handwriting. Voice recognition software can help English language learners. They will hear words they don't know how to spell. This software can help with pronunciation. Voice recognition software can be an alternative to using voice recorders and scribes. Voice recognition software is not easy for everyone to use. Keep that in mind. The software and the student will require training. Don't assume student incompetence and give up. One of my hard of hearing students who didn't wear hearing aids spoke for himself. He tended to mumble. I could never catch what he was saying myself. I relied on the interpreters to interpret his speech for me. For my needs, he did not move his mouth enough when forming his words for me to make out what he was saying. I asked his mum about this, and she said he has always been a mumbler. Because he couldn't write, I thought speech recognition software might help. But he refused to continue with the training. He saw so many errors because the software was not recognizing his pronunciations that he gave up. He didn't want to take the time to train the software. He was not motivated. So think about that when considering this tool. The software does require the user to self-monitor and self-correct. I used this technology with another student who was profoundly deaf. His speech was not clear. I suggested that using this software could help with his pronunciation. His first few times using it, all he got were errors. But with time, encouragement, and training, it began to recognize his speech, in part because his pronunciation became clearer. But he had to self-monitor and self-correct in order to get to that stage. He was highly motivated. He did have a cochlear implant. He was 14 at the time. This technology was a good support for him. In order to use this technology effectively, students have to learn the software. There are different dictation commands and other functions that must be understood. Even the basics like opening, managing, printing, and closing the program must be understood by the users. Another factor to consider is your purpose for using the technology. Are you trying to record a conversation? When people are in conversation, they tend to speak quickly. When someone is dictating, then they tend to be more thoughtful and precise about their choice of wording. They also tend to speak more slowly and deliberately. Think about your goals for using it. Speech recognition software has its limitations. It is not really a helpful technology for profoundly deaf students with unintelligible speech. It would take an investment of too much time to train it. time that would be taken away from other more educational purposes. Profoundly deaf students don't have enough hearing to produce intelligible speech, so the student's motivation to train the software is important. All the factors discussed hinge on the type of speech recognition technology being used. Some programs are quite sophisticated. Others are more basic. The point is, you don't want the students to become frustrated because the software is making mistakes or dropping content, or because it's too complicated to use. Having said that, the technology is coming along and is so much better than it once was.